Good evening. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Round Lake Area Board of Education on February the 2nd, 2026 at 6:59 p.m. If I can get started first with a roll call, please.
Mr. Francisco?
Here.
Mrs. Larson?
Here.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Here.
Mr. Tavera?
Here.
Mrs. Klingler?
Here.
Miss Lee?
Here.
And first up is our Pledge of Allegiance. If we can get a motion to approve the meeting agenda as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tavera, seconded by Ms. Larson. Roll call, please.
Miss Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
Yes.
Mr. Tavera?
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes. Motion carries. We have an approved meeting agenda, and first up on that is special recognition and presentations. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Mendoza.
Yeah, so I'd like to introduce Mr. Thomas Cardamone from the IPA, if you'd like to come forward to the mic. Mr. Cardamone is a principal at Stanton Middle School in Fox Lake and also is representing the IPA. I would also like to introduce Miss Erica Berger from the IPA as well.
Just hold it down.
All right, there we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Mendoza, and thank you, Round Lake Area School District 116, for welcoming us tonight. Tonight, we're really proud to honor Mr. Brian Peterson with the IPA Lake Region High School Principal of the Year Award. This award is a testament to the strength of his leadership and his collaboration. Through a rigorous process, Brian was selected by the Lake Region Illinois Principal Association Board to receive the High School Principal of the Year Award. The High School Principal of the Year Award takes a deep dive into the candidate's professional history, their practice, their application of leadership, and how they shape an overall community. There are 5 key questions that candidates need to answer to display their commitment to leadership. How have you evaluated and shaped your school's culture to foster emotional and physical well-being and safety? What have you done to promote equity for students and staff in your school? How do you involve students and staff in organizational decision-making and provide opportunities to empower them to be leaders? How are you leading learning and instruction in your school to ensure that students will succeed in a global society? And reflecting on data, how has your leadership impacted student achievement? Candidates then needed to receive approval from their district superintendent and submit 3 letters of reference to highlight their connection to high-quality education. Brian was quickly approved and highlighted how his commitment to the community has greatly impacted student performance, climate and culture, and collaborative practice. Brian, where are you?
Come forward.
On behalf of the Illinois Principal Association, we thank you for your dedication and for your superior leadership.
Brian, yeah, do you want to say a couple words? And we'll definitely get a picture, but I just want to give you an opportunity.
All right. So thank you very much to IPA for this award. It's a step in my journey and a step in some of the personal and professional goals I've set for myself. As I say, that's an honor for me. This award has very little to do with me. It's really about the work of the team that I work with and the staff members in this building. And without them, there wouldn't even be a chance I'm considered for this award. So this is thank you to them, and thank you to my family. They're here in the back. I know you put up with a lot of me at home. I bring a lot home with me because this means so much to me. So to everybody involved in this is not about me. This is about us. So thank you.
All right, next up is communications to the board and a follow-up on the school-based health center, follow-up with Dr. Ackar.
So good evening, and thank you to Dr. Mendoza and the Board of Education for allowing us to come and provide an update on the school-based health center presentation we gave in December. At that time, some additional data was requested, and I have Ms. Ali Garner here this evening to share that information with you.
Okay, so I have myself and Adali. She's my office manager. She'll be able to help answer any additional questions throughout the presentation if we have some. Okay, so we have about 70% of our clients are from the 60073 area code. The others are from the other zip codes within the county. So it's very less of, we're basically serving the Round Lake School District as the majority. And as like you can see, it's like 70%, so it's overall. And then our encounters with the insurance are for the state's fiscal year, July to June. And we do serve all clients. We offer a discount to those who qualify. We don't ever deny services. And based off your ability to pay, gender, disability, religion, age, sex, color, nothing. We also accept insurance. We also do self-pay, and we also do a sliding scale. And these are just some of the numbers that we do Well Child's for, which is like the preventative checkups. And the Well Child's do consist for like our newborns and up to our early childhood, where we do additional like assessments such as like the ASQ questionnaire to make sure that they're meeting all their milestones. And then we are used as like a primary care clinic. So we do want like the students or the families to keep coming back to us again and again. And that helps with like Medicaid reimbursement and continuation of care and collaboration. Oh, ASQ means like it's just like a questionnaire for milestones for pediatricians so they can meet if they're walking or if they're talking or if they can throw a ball. That's what it's kind of graded on. And then these are the prescriptions that are given out. We do follow the 340B program. We also do provide medication in the clinic if it's covered by the Medicaid or state grant, such as the Title X grant, which the Title X grant is the family planning grant. Also, we do send out prescriptions to the local pharmacies, such as CVS or the local Walgreens, wherever the student prefers. When it comes to like birth control, a lot of times those are available just in the clinic because with the Title X grant, we don't have to disclose that to the parent or guardian. So it's kind of, they're protected. Oh, the 340B drug pricing program is for those that are uninsured or underinsured, and that's where they get a discount through certain pharmacies that we use in the area around Lake. Walgreens is like one of the major ones that we use. Is there any other questions?
Okay. I have some questions. First, thank you for, again, I'm familiar with the 340B program. That's actually the world I live in. So thank you for including that information. So it says 70% of clients are from the 60073 zip code. Does that mean 70% of those are all students, or do we know what percentage of students?
Yeah, we're not allowed to collect data on which schools they attend, so we can only make the assumption that the majority of them are from your school district. We understand that within district parameters, they may go to a different school. I do know some around like kids go to Fox Lake schools or some go to, but I think within consideration, I think the majority of them are from 60073, so I would consider the majority of them from your guys' school district.
Okay, so we won't have that data. That's okay.
Sorry, your students do sign like a consent form to be able to come to us. So I'm sure like on your IT end of things, you guys can collect maybe that data from your IT department asking who has signed that consent to come to us. Now, do all of those students come to us? No, they don't. So
So that data would be really,
Yeah.
that'd be
yeah, exactly.
well, really wouldn't produce any information
Yeah.
for us. As most do. But so
Sorry, I was just gonna follow up on, on that statement. Still having the 70%, whether they are, 60073 is our home neighborhood, so to speak. So I understand that that's the majority of who you're serving, which is great. I'm a little curious, and I know it's not in here, but I'm assuming that other 30%, of course, is going to be Lake County. The interesting thing for me is that number seems to me very high just because of the fact of to come and pass X number of Lake County health departments just to get to ours. I'm just a little, I'm happy to serve, which is great. It's just, I'm curious more than anything else.
To partially answer that for you, Mr. Francisco, there is no Lake County Health Department between Antioch and here.
Well, actually, the one on Cedar Lake.
But several students might use ours.
No, absolutely, and that's
I think
great
too.
feedback.
Can I just
Thank
add real quick, like with the lack of providers that we have, such as pediatricians, a lot of parents prefer to take their children to pediatricians. Fran's is a school-based health clinic. They do become accustomed to her, even though she's an APRN. They do gain that trust with her because they know that she's like she specializes in school-based children. Also, the pediatrician, like we just hired a pediatrician out at our Belvedere clinic in Waukegan. So honestly, we're very grateful to be able to utilize a secondary clinic on this side of the county. We are, they're always like looking for opportunity, and honestly, we do try to offer where they are at home, of course, like Grand Avenue, which is another Waukegan one that we have out there, North Shore, Highland Park area. Our provider just resigned from that location, so that's why we had to pull some of those kids this way. And it is a drive, but we're thankful if they want to come this way.
And I'm happy that we're able to be here for it. So it's to me, it's a blessing that we're able to expand it beyond just the neighborhood.
So just the next question I had, the hours. So how is that advertised? Like, what are your hours and days of availability for? Is it the same for our students as it is for the general community?
Yes, it is.
So what are those days and hours?
So Monday 8 to 4, Tuesday 8 to 4, Wednesday 11 to 7, Thursday 8 to 4, Friday 8 to 4.
So no weekends, right?
No weekends at this time.
And is it strictly walk-in, or they can all make an appointment?
So they all make an appointment.
No walk-ins.
Sometimes people do walk in. If we have openings, we try our best to fit them in.
Okay. So if a student is in the building and not feeling well, and they want to go to the clinic, they would still have to call ahead and make an appointment, or how would they?
Yeah, so normally the nurse would like connect with our
Nurse will do it.
our secretary, and then they would look at availability. And like typically we do have like 1 or 2 openings a day, and a lot of times like our France, the provider, she will like ask the patient or client just to hold on for a minute. The student, we'll get to you next or whatever. A lot of times she just kind of slips them in to make sure they're seen. We don't want people to go home if they're not feeling good and whatever.
I would say also that the nurses in the building work very well with the practitioner at the school-based health center. So they're in constant communication about what cases are and what students may need to be seen. So the school-based health center is very good, especially with high school students, to get them in right away.
All right. So yeah, it's good to hear that that collaboration is happening. Okay. Thank you for getting this data together.
Any additional questions from the board?
I just want to thank you guys because I hear a lot of good feedback. I've had several children, well, all of us have through the high school, and it's nice to have a resource there for all kinds of things that they might pop up and want to talk to you guys about. So I'm grateful. Thank you guys.
Hearing nothing else, thank you again, and we will truly value the partnership. Thank you. All right, next up was review contracts under 1,000. We had nothing to report there. So we'll move on and we'll move to public comment. As always, members of the public may participate in public comment during regular board meetings by attending in person. Please note that speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Did we have any public comment? Nope. All right, and then moving on, it'll be the superintendent's report and Dr. Mendoza.
Thank you, Board President Francisco and Board of Education. Round Lake High School is hosting an ACT boot camp from February 22nd through the 26th to support student readiness for the ACT. The 4-week program provides targeted instruction in specific content areas each week and serves approximately 95 10th and 11th grade students. Students will participate twice per week during the lunch periods, minimizing instructional disruption while providing focused academic support. Parents are invited to participate in the BPAC Academic Series Parenting Styles this Friday, February 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. at McGee Middle School. This session will explore various parenting styles that affect positive communication with our children. IHSA will host girls bowling and girls wrestling regionals this week. Bowling will be held at Kingston Lanes in Woodstock on Friday, February 6th, and wrestling will be held on Friday, February 6th at Vernon Hills High School and Saturday, February 7th at Grays Lake Central High School. Wrestling sectionals are scheduled for February 13th and 14th. Good luck to our athletes. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Any questions for Dr. Mendoza on the superintendent's report? Hearing none, we'll move to committee reports, and I know we had a community engagement.
Yeah, okay, so we had several items on the Community Engagement Committee meeting this evening. The first one up was in relation to the Class Dojo tool. We want to expand the access that we use that with right now. Currently, the configuration has a lot of manual processes. They want to add kind of an expanded platform to the Class Dojo. If you look inside the packet, it talks about they have manually adding students to the rosters, and there's been some human error that would actually take care of that, but there are some concerns. We do have some concerns, and I want to shout out Miss Annette Grady McGinley for asking some really good questions. In their agreement, thank you, I'm sorry, I'm gapping the word, I apologize. They talked about there were some concerns in around them having the ability to use our school name and our logo. They also talked about there's some ads coming up for tutoring, and as we know, the tutoring they charge for, so we wanted clarification on that because we do offer tutoring for free. And then they talked about using our student data, considering it their intellectual property. So we want to know what they're using this for and why. So that we do have some concerns and some clarifications that we need. I think overall the program is really good, but we just need more clarification on that before we bring it back to the board. And that would be something that we would want to solicit feedback on from the entire board, just because we're not sure about that. So definitely some more digging in to do on that. But if you guys get a chance, look at the packet. The agreement is in there and the links are in there. It's kind of extensive, but definitely would encourage you to look at it and see what your thoughts are on it. The next thing, anything you want to add on that? Okay. The next thing on the agenda was the attendance initiative. We were very fortunate to secure a donation from the Schreiber Foundation for $10,000 to help with an initiative for attendance. They came up with is students who achieve perfect attendance for the first given week will have their name entered into a drawing for school level prizes. School level incentives include items such as televisions, movie ticket packages with popcorn, gift cards for school spiritware, Bluetooth speakers, etc. In addition, students who have maintained perfect attendance for 1 or more weeks within the month will be entered into a district level drawing. The district level prizes include a Nintendo Switch, a PlayStation 5 digital edition, and then a district grand prize of a 55-inch television. So it's a wonderful opportunity for the children to maybe encourage perfect attendance, even if they've had attendance issues in the past. Kind of clears that from any issues and then puts them in a moving forward pattern. We did want to express that it is a one-time grant approval, so we wanted that communication to be clear to our stakeholders, just so that everybody is aware that it may not necessarily be offered in the following years. So that was expressed as something that we would just wanted to make sure we messaged to everyone. And then the last item on there was our communications snapshot. If you get a chance, check that out. But overall, that was kind of the summation of what we went over, and we'll have more on the Class Dojo thing later.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. Thank you as always. Next up would be approval of open meeting minutes.
I need a motion to approve the January 26, 2026 regular board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lee, seconded by Ms. Klingler. Hearing no additional conversation, roll call please.
Abstain.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Abstain.
Ms. Lee.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Need a motion to approve the consent agenda for the following items. The accounts payable report for $634,853.96.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Klingler, seconded by Ms. Lee. Roll call please.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Ms. Lee. Yes.
Motion carries. And that will take us to old business. And first up on the old business is the Round Lake High School Music New York City trip contract. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Earlier in the year, I had the opportunity to present this opportunity for our music trip to New York City, and had that contract. We ran that through our process in Reich and had the business office go through that, and they met all of the parameters and expectations for our contracts. Presented to the finance committee, and also met all the obligations there. And tonight I'm bringing that contract in front of you tonight for your review and approval.
Any questions from the board?
So I just wanted to reiterate, Mr. Peterson said that was brought to finance and reviewed. Like I said, the only thing to add is, I know we've kind of all mentioned, is like the Washington trips, these trips that come forward for our students. These are quite costly, and unfortunately the world has not gotten cheaper, and our parents and our students need just more. I know they have a year here. It's not necessarily specific to this one, but again, I just want to make sure we can get communication and those opportunities out to the families as soon as we can, so they have the option to save, save birthday money, Christmas money, whatever they need to do to get to these trips. But I'm sure they're going to have a great time in New York.
All right, hearing no additional conversation.
Need a motion to approve the 2027 Round Lake High School Music New York City trip contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Larson, seconded by Mrs. Klingler. Roll call please.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Ms. Lee. Yes. Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson.
Yes.
Motion carries. And that will take us now to new business and the 2026 Six Flags Grad Bash contract. Mr. Peterson again.
Again, I had the opportunity to bring this new experience for our senior class in front of you, and you supported that. And I had then took this contract through the business office again, and that matched all our parameters around contract approval with the business office, and then also had the opportunity to present this to the finance committee. So tonight I'm here to seek your approval on, or consideration and approval on a contract with Six Flags for the Grad Bash.
So again, it did come to finance, as Mr. Peterson said, so all's good. I think we should all look forward to hearing how this goes for our students. This is something that would, come back next year.
You'll be happy to know my 16-year-old has graciously offered to chaperone, should you need.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to send out a reminder that potentially there would be board chaperones at
Miss
the
Lee,
trip, so
Miss Lee.
I'm going to hold you to that.
All right, hearing no additional conversation.
I need a motion to approve the contract for the 2026 Six Flags Grad Bash.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Lee, seconded by Ms. Larson. Roll call, please.
Mr. Tavera?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I appreciate your support on these, and especially this new opportunity with Six Flags. I think it's going to be a great experience. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations. All right, next up is Ms. Crone and the McGraw-Hill.
Good evening. Tonight I am respectfully requesting the Board of Education support entering into an agreement with McGraw-Hill for the Actively Learn Social Studies program. This program will be used across all high school human geography, world history, U.S. government, and economics courses at the general and honors level. The agreement includes 6 years of student digital access, 7 years of complimentary staff access, physical teacher materials, and classroom sets of textbooks. The total cost of this agreement is $287,732.21 and was reviewed last week at the Finance Committee. Student licensing will begin in the 26-27 school year. Staff digital licenses and physical materials will be available this school year to support the course planning and organization.
So yes, this was at finance and reviewed. I just really wanted to call out because this is a 6-year contract and we do multiple years. We usually don't do ones of this extent, but they were offering 44% discount. And again, as is mentioned, licensing, physical materials, the digital licensing, it was a really good offer.
Also, in regards to that, I would assume that a curriculum would be something that you'd want to have a little bit longer of a tail, so to speak.
True.
So that you're not
Yeah, we don't want a year.
constantly- Right, 2 years in, now you're on to the next one, and
That is very true too.
Well, the only thing I'd say is I think the state changes the curriculum and adds stuff every year, so the team does a great job of plugging holes. Say that with a little bit of humor, but there's some seriousness to that. Plus, all the states have different requirements, so I think the team does a great job.
hearing no additional conversation.
I need a motion to approve the McGraw-Hill High School Social Studies Curriculum Resource multi-year contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tavera, seconded by Mrs. Klingler. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Tavera?
Yes.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes. Motion carries. And that will take us to fiscal year 26 sponsorship agreements, and I'm guessing my same so. That would be me.
Can you use the mic?
Microphone for our
Yeah.
online?
I'm sorry.
So we have in front of you tonight that sponsorship agreements for FY26. We have had the Finance Committee take an opportunity to review these sponsorship agreements, and so they are coming to you with Finance Committee support. And now we are asking for Board of Education support. There is one multi-year agreement on there, which is Myers agreement. We discussed in Finance that we will be reaching back out to them, that was kind of not necessarily a normal sponsorship agreement. They entered into that with us 10 years ago when they built their facility. So we may not be able to re-up that sponsorship agreement, but we will be pursuing that.
Yeah, just to add to that, when Meyer opened, they reached out to Round Lake High School for a sponsorship, so they gave us a very generous donation, as you see, of $25,000 that was valid for the 10 years. When we added that scoreboard, we added their name. Target's coming, so hopefully maybe we can get them. But so again, that's what that contract, that agreement with Meyer for that 10-year ends this year. Of course, we would love to keep their name on the board, and hopefully they will continue that sponsorship. But that sponsorship agreement with Meyer was a little different because this is long before we had this and what we have in place today. And then I know we're looking at, it's not only the sponsorship that you see on the football field for the scoreboard, but in the gym, that board as well. So and I know they're viably looking at sponsorships. So
And this is basically the athletics sponsorship program.
yes, it covers the athletics. Yes.
Right. Any additional questions?
All right. I need a motion to approve the 2025-2026 sponsorship agreements and authorize administration to execute all necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Klingler, seconded by Mr. Tavera. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Tavera,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley.
Yes.
Motion carries. That will take us to registration fee recommendations.
Thank you. You have in your packet tonight our FY27 registration fee recommendation, which has also gone to the Finance Committee. We have provided you 3 years worth of historical collection data that we provide with you every year for our registration years. Or our registration fee recommendation. However, this year we've also included a synopsis of about 5 or 6 school districts around us and what they are charging in terms of fees, as well as analysis of how our fees compare to those fees. And given the fact that our fees are either comparable or actually slightly lower, the Finance Committee recommendation at this point is a 0% increase to our fees. However, the very last page, if the board were to decide it wanted to do a 1%, a 2%, or a CPI increase, we have provided those figures to you as well. However, the Finance Committee is recommending a 0% increase. With the exception of our PE, you were about to say that, weren't you? With the exception of our PE uniforms. So our PE uniforms were dropped down significantly last year because we had a very low bid. There was a reason that was the low bid. So this year we're anticipating those fees might go up a little bit. So we are preemptively increasing those fees to the second highest bidder's cost from last year in anticipation that that will probably be what we end up paying. However, once we actually bring that bid to the board, we will formalize with the board at that time. We'll let you know, hey, we had set this for $11. This will end up being $12 or whatever it ends up being. But in the meantime, we are recommending increasing it to the fee that we think it will be the second highest bidder from last year.
Yeah, as you heard Ms. Ainsel, again, I don't think right now is a great time to, or the Finance Committee doesn't think it's a great time to raise registration fees. And as you heard, the gym uniform fees really just based off the cost we pay to the supplier or the vendor. We don't make any money off of it. It's just a wash. So if they charge us $12, we're going to charge $12. If they charge us $10, we'll charge $10. That's the only increase that families will see is that gym uniform.
Any additional questions from the board? Hearing none.
Need a motion to approve the adoption of the fiscal year 27 registration fee schedule as presented, which maintains fees at the fiscal year 26 levels, with the exception of the physical education uniform fees.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Klingler, seconded by Ms. Larson. Roll call, please.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Tavera,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Miss Lee. Yes.
Motion carries. That takes us to our last one, the Flashlight 360 updated quote.
Save the best for last. Last week I came and I presented information about Flashlight 360 to the Finance Committee. Flashlight 360 is an online tool utilized for ML students focused on the speaking and writing components of the WEDIA Access Assessment. I requested that we purchase 65 licenses for this for third graders for the ML resource program, and I'm seeking to have approval tonight.
The ML being multilingual.
Yes, I'm sorry, that would be the multilingual program.
And again, it was presented at Finance, and again, just making sure, again, the licenses we acquire covers the need and maybe a little bit of buffer. So that was reviewed. But again, as mentioned, or as heard, was reviewed at finance, and the finance is in support.
Hearing no additional conversation?
I need a motion to approve. Oh, let me just add, this is grant funded. My apologies. This is grant funded as well. I need a motion to approve the agreement with Flashlight 360.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Klinkler, seconded by Ms. Lee. Roll call, please.
Ms. Lee,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Mr. Tavera,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mrs. Norgata McGinley.
Yes.
Motion carries. And that will bring us to positive occurrences. And I will kick this off, even though it's only been a week since our last meeting, but definitely we had girls bowling had conference tournament last Friday. And then boys wrestling had regional tournament on Saturday. Boys wrestling finished 5th in the regional. I apologize, I do not have how the girls bowling team finalized. So I don't have any details on that, but I know that they showed well regardless because they're our kids. And it's just been, it's great. And you heard the things that are going on. We got girls wrestling coming up. We got girls bowling coming up. We've got the choir show coming up tomorrow or Wednesday. We're slowly, quietly walking into the silly season, where everything is happening at the same time. And while it's fun and exciting, it's also tiring.
I want to shout out the guard team. I'm sorry because I missed the last meeting, so I apologize, but this was 2 weeks ago. They went to their competition, and the junior varsity won first place, and the varsity won second place out, and junior varsity won first place out of 9 teams. So, shout out to them.
All right, hearing no additional positive occurrences, future agenda items. Anyone going once, going twice? Hearing none, that will take us to adjournment at 7:37 p.m. Everyone have a great evening. For those online, we will see you in 14 days on the 16th. Have a great evening.